Okay, so today we're going to look at the three forms of quadratic equations. One thing that we're going to note is standard form and vertex form are on our formula chart. Factored form is not so much. So when you open up the tab, I know that it got a little bit cut off, but it's okay. So this first one in the bottom corner, it tells you what the equation is. So this, we could rewrite this. So this freaks people out when it's x squared over 4. So just want you to know that that could be written as 1 over 4 x squared minus x minus 3. And now that is in standard form. So from standard form, we normally identify the A, the B, and the C. So the A in this one would be 1/4. The B would be -1. And the C is -3. So one thing that you notice about the C is -3 is where it crosses the y-axis. One thing that you notice about the A is that it's positive, so it's pointing upwards. And then because the A value is less than 1, it's a fraction less than 1, it's wider than the parent function. So fractions make it fat, okay? But I say that, but I don't really mean all fractions. The fraction has to be less than 1 to make it wider. And so that's just some of the stuff that we identify from standard form. Okay, next one is actually vertex form. And I like vertex form a lot because it tells us the vertex very easily. So it's hard to read on the graph itself. So it's y equals 1/4 parentheses x minus 2 squared minus 4. So remember that the HK is the vertex. So we can tell easily the vertex in this form, but one thing you have to remember is the actual form is x minus h plus k. So when you're identifying the h value, you're actually looking at the opposite sign. So for us, the vertex would be 2, -4. And if you look at the graph, it is at 2, -4, the vertex. The other thing that it does identify is the a value, which again is 1/4. And so we know that it's pointing upwards and that it's wider than the parent function. So far, so good. So if you looked at both of those graphs closely, you would notice they're actually the exact same graph, just the equation is in a different form. The last form we're going to look at is factored form. So it's written, I don't know if you can read it super great, so I'll rewrite it. It's y equals 1/4 times x plus 2 times x minus 6. And so factored form is awesome because it tells you the a value is 1/4. It also tells you the roots or the zeros or the solutions, but you have to remember you would do the opposite signs because you would split them and set them equal to 0. So the roots would be -2 and +6. And so you notice it crosses at -2 and +6. So all three forms give you information. All three of these were the exact same graph. Just the forms give you a little bit different look at the information.